This is the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show. Heard every Saturday and Sunday from noon to 1 p.m. right here on AM800.
Thank you for doing a good job as always.
Now back to the show with broker owner and host, Dan Gemus.
All right, welcome back to the show. Kathy Talbot in studio with me today. And on break, Kath, I did double check. The Uncommon Festival in Amherstburg is happening between September 20th and the 22nd, the Friday to Sunday in downtown Amherstburg.
Very good.
So there you go. Make sure you're out there for that fun event. And at first, when they first introduced that a few, 3-4 years ago, I was kind of like, oh, what a weird kind of event.
Yeah.
But it is.
I know a lot of people
really
who
cool.
go.
Oh, yeah. No, it's really cool. It's grown massively in the last couple of years. And we love it. It's lots of fun for the kids, and people are dressed up in Harry Potter-ish kind of steampunk kind of clothes. It's pretty cool. But a lot of cool things to kind of see and do as well when you're there. So check it out, September 20th to 22nd in downtown Amherstburg. You can find more information about the Amherstburg Uncommon Fest at visitamherstburg.ca. Visitamherstburg.ca. Now, Kath, let's talk about the market. Right. So the market has been shifting over the last 6 months or so, but it's shifted even more so in the last, I would say, about 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. We've noticed, right? People are always asking us, how's the market behaving? What are we seeing? What are we seeing out there?
Well, it's getting busier.
Yeah, it
for
is,
sure,
isn't it?
for sellers and buyers.
And ironically, August is usually a quiet time. Summertime is usually quiet when kids are off school.
People are on vacation.
Yeah, it gets quiet until September, but August was our busiest month probably this year so far.
Yeah, it's really picked up. Buyers are coming out of the woodworks. I think they're anticipating another interest drop as well
this week. Yeah.
So they're getting excited maybe, and they're starting to get more curious. And there's still some multiple offers. I don't find too many, but there are still some multiple offers.
Depends on price point. It
depends where it's at and on price. Depends on a lot of things.
Yes.
Because a lot of sellers ask me that, right? How do you price it? Do you price it for a bidding war? Do you price it for, come as offers as they come? So it's pretty interesting. And I find there's a few more listings to choose from.
Yes.
I have people looking for waterfront this weekend, and we had a few to choose from for there. And a lady looking for a condo in Windsor. There's lots of condos for sale. So it's nice to have some choices and to be able to negotiate. We're kind of back to that, I find.
Which is not a bad thing.
No, it's not
right?
a bad thing at all.
A couple of things. Number one, how are people pricing right now? I guess is the question that everyone's asking, right? So if we take it back, 5, 6, 7 years ago, people would price, about where they want to end up.
Yes.
You would negotiate down a little bit, maybe, a couple $1,000s off, maybe $5,000, $10,000 off if, depending on what's going on. Then the market started shifting on us. I would say about 2017, 18, we started seeing, things heat up here in Windsor-Essex County. And they'd been seeing it in the Toronto markets for 10 years before then.
We used to talk about that.
Yes.
Remember, if we had 2 offers, that was multiple offers, and we were excited. Yeah, we were excited.
100%. And so we started seeing that here in Windsor-Essex around 2017, 2018, and then it kind of went haywire, right?
Oh,
2019, 20, when COVID hit, then it really kind of went silly. And it took everyone some time to adjust. It really did. Now, as it's been coming back down again, it's taking folks some time to adjust again. But they are adjusting. I find it's taking a little bit of time.
It's taking time.
But we went from people, let's take an example of a raised ranch in LaSalle, for example, back in 2010, 11, 12, it would have sold for $250.
I was going to say $250.
Right? And then at the peak of the market, we were selling them for $700, $750, $800,000.
Yeah.
Well, now maybe you're getting what, Kath? $650, $700-ish from the maybe peak of $750.
Yeah.
Right. So it's come down a little bit, but it is still incredible compared to where it was 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's all, we had a very short peak. February of 22 was the peak of the market. February, March of 22 was the peak of the market, but it was a very short peak. And then literally it started coming down a little bit from there. But, Windsor-Essex last month saw the price increase.
Yes.
Over the last month, last year.
I was going to say, I get buyers all the time saying, well, maybe we should wait. Prices are, there's a lot of people not working and blah, 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 and prices are going to come down. And I said to them, prices are not going to come down. In fact, in the fall, we expect a very busy fall.
Yes.
We really do.
As interest rates continue to come down, which they're expecting a reduction for sure this week, and then possibly 2 more by the end of the year. Again, it's just signaling to the market that, things are starting to slow down again. And buyers are they're coming out strong. We were talking to a couple of mortgage brokers, and they are seeing a lot of buyers doing pre-approvals right now, more so than the last year, right? So it's really starting to shift. Now, that does not fix our affordability issue.
Nope.
Unfortunately, right? That's where it always gets difficult. But buyers are still making it work. Mom and dad are helping quite a bit still.
A lot, yeah.
And we have to remember, right, the majority of the market had a home prior to the price increases. And so the majority of the market are selling their property at a great increase in price and equity, and they're taking that equity with them to the next property. That's the majority of the market. So everyone who's asking, well, how are people doing it? That's how they're doing it. They're selling their property, making a lot of money off that property they've had for 10, 15, 20 years, and they're moving that equity to the next house with them. Over the last, 3, 4, 5 years when the market's been really hot, not that many first-time buyers have been able to get into the market.
Exactly.
And so that's why we're not seeing the issues that we'd expect to be seeing, because those who are actually moving are the ones that have had property for a longer period of time, and they've gained equity, and they're moving it to the next property with them.
And then we had a lot of sellers who wouldn't sell because they had nothing to choose from, nowhere to go, and they knew their house would sell in 2 weeks, and then where are they going to go? So it's funny how the whole circle starts to balance out, but it takes time.
It takes time, but now those sellers finally see stuff on the market,
yes,
and they feel, you know what, we can sell now, we can still find something. Yeah. So we're actually seeing people finding a property and putting conditions pending their home sale.
Yes.
So it's great news for the market. We want to see more of an even market, right? As realtors, we don't like seeing a seller's market. It's
people
a pain in the butt.
think we do, but we don't.
We have to find buyers of property. It's very difficult, right? You could, in the last few years, we've had buyers that have been working with for 3, 4, or 5 years. It's been difficult. So finally, they're able to start finding some houses now, and it's been a bit easier. So there's no doubt that it's been challenging. The pricing point will still remain challenging forever. It's not going back down to what it used to be. So for anyone out there who's waiting for that to happen, it's not going to happen. In 20 years from now, prices are going to be much, much higher. So just like they were 20 years ago, they were much lower 10 years ago. Our average price, 10, 11, 12 years ago was $170,000. Yeah. So now we're at $600,000, right? So again, now will it go up that much? Will we be, $1.2 million as an average in 20 years from now? I don't know. I don't think so, but we'll definitely be higher than we are now. No doubt about it. Typically, a healthy increase, inflation in real estate market is about 3% a year. So 2 to 3% a year.
Okay.
Right?
Well, there you go.
There we go. That's what we'll see. So listen, we're going to take a break, Kath. We're going to come back. Before I do that, we should also mention, if you are looking to kind of get an opinion and see where, things are at with your property, the Dan Gemus team services all of Windsor and Essex County. Mm-hmm. So if you are in Kingsville, Leamington, in Windsor, in Bell River, Lakeshore, in Amherstburg, in LaSalle, in Essex, the Dan Gemus team is there to serve you. And you can reach out to us 7 days a week, 519-566-5565, 566-5565, or find us online, dangemus.com, Gemus. What's the last name? dangemus.com, Gemus. So we'll take a break. We're going to come back with Chris Gibb talking about the top 20 flood-prone areas in the province. And Windsor-Essex has 3 municipalities in that top 20 list. So we'll talk about that later on right here on the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show.